2021 Super Bowl champion Buccaneers, it is also the home field for the USF Bulls and the clash that we have in store today. A couple of teams trying to stake their claim to being among the best in the country in this top 25 showdown we have in store. As we'll see the number 20 team in the country, the Tulane Green Wave, taking on the winners of 3 straight, the South Florida Bulls. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Time to get this game started. Tulane will kick it off to get this game underway. Just into the end zone, and he'll bring it out. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. So the USF Bulls return team didn't help matters out much there. And here he is, one of the best receivers in the game, and he just commands attention, both from the defense and from the fans.
Yeah, he's a guy you got to keep your eye on, and you're going to see him line up all over the field in this game. He can play in the slot, he can play out wide, he can run the entire gamut in the route tree as well. Really nothing this guy can't do.
Good vision and determination there to find his way up to the 23. You know what I really like about games like this at this point in the season? You find out who you are. You find out whether you're going to stay in the race.
And who can step up and... Right? This is easily one of the toughest games to date for both of these programs coming into this one. So there's a lot of eyeballs, David, on this game to find out who's mentally and emotionally the top.
We're going to point to this game as we get later in the year and big decisions are made. You've got a top 25 win. You beat them in the middle of the season, X, Y, and Z, so these are big for the resume.
Grabs it in the middle. They get him down after he makes the catch. Don't always have to get rid of it quickly if you have that type of protection and enough time for a receiver to run that slow.
No doubt. He comes across the field. There's going to be a time where he's going to be open. Nice job by the QB seeing it, delivering the strike with the great protection.
Well, just nothing doing on that last run, and they knew coming into this one they were going to be challenged, right? This is one of the best defenses in all of college football. For them to have any shot, they're going to have to do a lot better running the football.
Coming through with that third down conversion, and they'll mark it at the 43.
Wow, and what a great job by that quarterback, finding his open receiver on third down. You know, guys, one of the most telling stats at the end of the game is third down conversion percentage. If you're a great third down team, it's invaluable to your offensive success, and that's why teams drill third down so much in practice.
Continuing to turn and move it forward, and they're closing in on midfield. It's down at the 48. Running game worked on first down. Let's see if they go back to it on second down. Makes it past the marker. Good pick up there. They'll move the chains, and they're set up at the 41.
And listen, the offensive line has to do their job, but a really good job by the running back, understanding where his hole is. Go hit it, get the first down, don't mess around. Nice job following his hole, getting positive yards.
He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
Well, the offensive line had everybody blocked except the defensive end. He was able to sneak into the backfield and get the tackle for loss.
After losing yardage, it's 2nd and 12. Quarterback reacting to what the D is showing. Got him looking run. He wants to throw. Going to try to get it himself. Not a lot of movement on that one. The defense in position.
Well, great job there by the defense because they weren't able to get him sacked right away, but you saw the coverage in the back end. Nowhere for the quarterback to throw the football. Didn't get the sack, obviously. You don't get the negative play, but you also don't give up a big one. You're feeling pretty good about where you...
He wants to take the top off. Makes the grab. And he just kept running, and he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Bulls. And the PAT makes it 7-0. So a drive there of 85 yards. And the finisher coming on that 42-yard touchdown toss. And he takes this from inside the 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. So Tulane's offense will take the field for the first time. As dynamic as this guy is on the outside, Jesse, you know he's going to be peeking that way from the free safety position.
Yeah, he's been watching the film. This dude in the middle, man, he can light people up. So you can't tiptoe. You got to be aggressive and run in there. But this is a pretty interesting matchup today.
And I love safeties that make receivers think. Make them know they're going to be there over the middle of the field, and you better think twice about catching that football.
The RPO, it's complete. At the 35, he's got room. Knew exactly where he wanted to go with that one, and they've got enough for the first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Off the play fake on first down. Caught over the middle. It's Preston. And he was on his way. Gets it all the way to the 38. Here comes Tulane after picking up the first down. He's looking to throw it. Wide open downfield. Defense is there to make the stop, but he's got the first down, and they'll have it first and goal at the 6.
Man, if I'm a defense, I got to find a way to get some more pressure on the quarterback or disrupt their timing and their rhythm. I can't give them these big chunk plays through the air. I got to be maybe a little bit more aggressive or do something a little bit different.
He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
Well, we know plays with a lot of pride, right? And part of that is their ability stopping the run. They're a top 25 unit in the nation when it comes to stopping the rush, and that really helps them out down here in the red zone. They're going to have to step up big time in this situation.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
3rd and goal, and they'll try to pass it in. It's incomplete. He was shooting for the end zone right. It's 4th down, and they'll try the field goal. From the left hash, and this distance ought to make that angle pretty easy to handle. The official says no good, and they couldn't cut into the lead. It's still a 7-point game.
Well, that's one the kicker would like to have back. That's a kick he should be making in his sleep.
South Florida has it back, and the Bulls offense will return to the field. They unleashed an aerial assault last time that took them right to the end zone, David.
So, Reese, with that drive, I think you've accomplished something you wanted to accomplish. Make this defense think. You put them back on their heels. Now, shoot, Palmer, you might be able to slip a few runs in on this drive to really jack them up.
Yeah, I like that idea, but I also like the fact that speed kills. They've got it at the receiver position, so if you've got one-on-one matchups, man, take advantage.
3rd down conversions are a huge stat, and this one would be a doozy if they can pull it off. Brown will throw it. Unloads to the wideout. On target over the middle. And he almost ran away from everybody on that one. A huge pickup on that play.
Just beautiful. And that's a great feeling as a quarterback when you make that throw. It keeps your offense on the field, keeps the offense in rhythm. Obviously not as good as throwing a touchdown pass, but I'll tell you this, way better than having to trot up over to the bench and wait for your turn to get another shot.
He's brought down, but not before they pick up the big first down. The Bulls are moving quickly down the field. Wide out in motion. They'll toss it to the outside on the left. At the 35, he's loose. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a first down.
Not complicated, not something the OC spent the whole summer designing. I take the ball and I toss it to my fast guy, get him on the perimeter, block it up good. My wide receivers commit to blocking, and boom, make a big...
Got some room headed to the goal line. And he cruises his way to the house. Touchdown, USF!
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, gets you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy. The connection between quarterback, wide receiver, you can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
Tulane has it back in the offense, coming out to go on the attack. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively, for this unit, they've been slow and struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
Yeah, and it's just the first quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts, but you got to continue to pick and pick and pick until you find that play or that scheme that you can use against this defense.
And they'll spot it at the 45. That's good enough for a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Quarterback on the keeper. At the 45, on his way. Found enough room to get it into enemy territory. They're down at the 43-yard line. And here on first down, let's see if they keep it on the ground. Takes the handoff. It's McClure. Oh, how did you make that move? Brought down at the 28. A chunk play. 15 yards on that one, and a first down.
And that is exactly why you stick to running the football. Haven't had a lot of success, but boom, you pop one, right? That's what you got to do. You cannot become one-dimensional and just throw the football every down. Love the offense sticking to the run. Nice job getting the first down.
Off the play fake on first down to throw. And they get the sack right out of the gate.
And nice answer by this defense. You give up a big play, you go take a big play. Sometimes you get down on yourselves and one play turns to 2. Nice job by this defense getting a sack, creating some momentum.
Hands it off. Tackled at the 31. They'll give him 6 on the play.
I like it. Just frustrate the defense. Get that 5 to 6 yards. Make them honor the run. Make them know that you're willing to run the football and run it effectively.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to turn one loose downfield. Feeling some heat. Just threw that one away to avoid disaster.
Nice job by the defense. They're mixing up their look there. 3rd and long in field goal range. They go zone coverage. So everybody on the back end has the eye on the quarterback, and they're able to break on the ball, force the incompletion.
Never a doubt. They were able to get a field goal on the board, and now they'll kick it away. He thought about bringing that out for a half second, but he'll take a knee and they'll bring it to the 25. South Florida ready to send the offense back onto the field. How about the way they attacked the last time they had the ball, mixing run and pass and winding up in the end zone, Jesse?
That's why recruiting is so important. They've got weapons at every skill position on the field. Any of these guys is dangerous if they touch the football. Let's see what they do on this drive, David.
And so, Palmer, I got to take away something. I can't let them have everything and have success. I got to be aggressive against the run or play for the pass. I can't give them everything.
A run up the middle is stuck for no gain.
Offense tries to go RPO and hand off to the running back, but how about the defense up front? They're just too stout. They're not getting moved anywhere, and they're able to make a big-time play.
On 3rd down, he drops to throw. Stands in and takes the hit. Makes the grab down the left side. And he's brought down after a huge completion.
Well, Reese, you and I were talking about this before the game. How is this defense going to be? All the speed they have offensively, you saw them just rip off a big play.
And Jesse, now their head's spinning just a little bit. Give up a big chunk play, and it's right back at them.
Second down.
We're through one, and what a back-and-forth battle between these two quarterbacks as we look at the stats. Second down now as they're ready to go back to work. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half. Second down coming up. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
How about the defender being a heat-seeking missile? He was on radar lock. He found the football and flew down with some bad intentions.
On third and long, you'll need to push it downfield. And this is dropped. Incomplete pass. He had a huge gain in his fingers, and he couldn't hold on. And the Bulls send out the punt unit. First punt of the day, and he'd love to lock them up close to their goal line. No return coming. He'll call for the fair catch. The Tulane offense headed back onto the field. It's always great to get points on a drive, but it would behoove them to try to get a touchdown this time around, Palmer.
They may have to get out of their comfort zone here too, David, a little bit and just start being more aggressive and take some chances, but that's what's going to happen for them to win this game.
Yeah, and when you're losing, obviously everything gets hyped. Everything becomes more critical. This drive is crucial because you've got to cut into this deficit and put some points on the board.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. From the gun, the running back has it. That play just never had a chance. They knock him down for a loss of 5.
They're trying to run the football. There's just nowhere to go for the ball carrier inside. He tried to bounce it to the outside. That linebacker way too fast. He met him there and forced the TFL.
He puts a lot of air under it down the sideline. And the pass is intercepted. Takes it the other way. And they capitalize not only on the pick, but on the great return to improve this field position.
QB's got to pick and choose their spots when they want to be really aggressive and try to fit balls in tight windows. Great job by the DB making a big play, getting the ball back to its offense.
And he's loose, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Bulls! They are seizing control and taking away hope as they push out the lead in this Week 8 showdown. And the kick is good, but there's a penalty flag, and I think it's going to be roughing the kicker. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. The kickoff team on the field, and he ought to just boom this thing through the end zone with that extra 15 yards on the penalty. They'll pull in the squib kick inside the 15. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. Offense set on first down. Use the play fake. Now to throw. Oh, what a spectacular layout and catch. And he unleashed the RPMs on that pass. Man, this sophomore has an arm. With the first down, they'll put it in play from the 33. Looking to move it through the air. He finds his man. And he goes out of bounds after coming up with positive yardage there.
I love the anticipation on that throw by the QB on the out route. You got to throw it before the receiver comes out of his break. Nice work.
On the run, it's Barnes. And they'll move the chains and get it to the 47-yard line.
And, you know, big chunks like this don't happen unless you commit to the run game. You got to get those big boys up front into the game, understanding I want to knock people off the football, create some holes like you do here for my running back, make the game easy.
They pick up half of it. It'll be 2nd and 5.
And runs like that are like body blows in a boxing match. 4, 5, 6-yard gains early turn into 20, 30, 40-yard gains later. They really wear down defenses, and they test their physicality.
He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple. The line to gain here is the 43-yard line, and it's third down. From the gun, wants to pass. What a job to lay out and make the catch. Got open on the post and then had no regard for his body in making that catch.
Exactly right. You know you're going to get hit a lot of times coming over the middle of the field, but he runs that post, lays out, makes the play for his quarterback. That's a tough hombre.
And the quarterback runs out of time, and down he goes at the 38. Now facing some adversity on this drive after the loss of 4. It's 2nd and 14. Now the play fake. They're working that left side. And they'll stop him just short of the first down, just inches away from moving the sticks. Here comes 3rd and short from the 24, and this offense does not want to send out the field goal unit. They'll try to run for it. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple. And it looks as if they're going to try a field goal. And they'll kick it from the left side, a 44-yard try. It is good. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Fellas, I think at least a portion of your audience will have an interest in the one that just finished up. UCLA dug down deep and found a way to secure a coveted road win. And who knows how the pundits will view this one, but I tell you this, it sure beats trying to explain a bad loss. The circle of life in college football, where one team moves on feeling like kings and the other heads home licking its wounds.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there. Blasted as he lets it go. And the ball is picked off. Touchdown, Green Wave. How about that D coming up with a play like that?
And linebackers are so athletic nowadays in college football. They can play man on running backs and tight ends and all over the field. And how about the linebacker making the athletic interception and then showing you he could be a running back, taking it all the way back to the house for a touchdown.
And the ball will make it into the end zone. No return on that one for a touchback. South Florida has it back, and the Bulls offense will return to the field. Well, the good news is they threw a touchdown pass last time. It was just to the wrong team, Jesse.
Well, that's an unfortunate part of the game for quarterbacks, but guess what? They do happen. So you've got to be able to turn the page here and lead this offense.
Well, I think you know this defense is going to be aggressive. They're going to jump routes. They're going to play aggressive. You've got to take advantage of that. Maybe use that this time to your advantage.
They can really be aggressive after that last play. It's 2nd and 3. Crosses the 45. What a nifty run there to pick up the first down.
And this is a really good job of getting on the perimeter so quickly. When you run these tosses, you get away from the big boys. And when you got speed in the backfield, let them do the rest, right? Flip it to them. Let them get outside. Let them run the football, make a big gain. When you got speed at the running back spot, you definitely want to toss it to them and get them on the perimeter.
And they explode on that one, and they've got it down to the 22.
That's what's so scary about this offense. They've got guys in the perimeter that can change the game in one single play, and you saw it right there. Too much speed on the perimeter to create that explosive play.
Out of the gun, the inside handoff to the running back. And they try the middle of this defense, and that is not happening. They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Brown wants to pass. Lets it fly deep downfield. And they weren't able to make the connection. They were looking for an explosive play. The Bulls racing to the line in the hurry-up. Quarterback making adjustments with his receivers. Third and long, and he'll try to throw for it. Oh, and he dropped it. He had a touchdown right in his hands and couldn't hang on. It'll be 4th down. And the field goal unit is on the field. Field goal is good. And they'll push that lead out a little further. They'll kick it away after putting up a field goal on that last drive. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Tulane has it back in the offense, coming out to go on the attack. They're going to have to be more aggressive in this drive. You can't expect to win this one, David, kicking field goals.
No, especially when you're trailing. You got to have a little more urgency and maybe a little more aggressiveness, Jesse. And field goals are not going to get it done down the stretch.
Yeah, you're going to have to take some shots, no doubt. Bottom line, when plays present themselves, you just simply got to make it.
Not what they had in mind to start this drive. Here comes 2nd and 13. Getting some heat. Just missed on the connection, incomplete.
And sometimes you see great shooters and they get on fire and they just can't miss. And that's what this QB looks like the last couple of weeks, man. Just completion percentage through the roof, running the offense at an elite level. You can tell in complete control of this offense.
And the freshman will chalk up a sack. Tulane forced to send out the punt unit.
Well, that's their 3rd sack of the game, and we knew statistically coming into this game, this is one of the top 25 units in the nation getting after the quarterback. I just love how athletic they are up front, and they are giving this offensive line headaches and nightmares up to this point of the game.
Very little will make a crowd hold its breath like a punt return, and he brought them to their feet on that one. South Florida ready to send the offense back onto the field. They kicked a field goal on the last drive, Jesse. They've got the lead. Don't make a dumb mistake, but maintain your aggressive play calling.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think it's the play caller right now just taking a look at that script he's got in front of him and finding out where are my playmakers, who can we take advantage of on this defense to get a touchdown here, Dave?
Yeah, and just keep moving the ball down the field. Just execute a little bit better in the red zone. There's no need to panic. We're moving the football, and we got the lead.
Bunch formation trying to confuse the secondary. And he's almost to that first down marker there, saying he's a little bit short. They might want to bring out the sticks and measure, but it looks as if he'll be just short of the first down. And the Bulls have pushed it inside the 20. Jet sweep, trying to get the edge. Got some room, headed to the goal line. Touchdown, South Florida. And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house. And with the extra point, they're on top by 18. They got the ball in great field position, and bam, bam, 2 plays and into the end zone. About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. He'll return it. Pulled down at the 18, and the decision to bring it out of the end zone was not a good one. The Tulane offense headed back onto the field. They find themselves in a pretty deep hole here, but maybe a chance to grab a little momentum and regroup at halftime.
Yeah, a big chance. Like this is an opportunity.
And he breaks into the open. And they are pushing the ball down the field. A big pickup on that one, and the tackle is finally made. One big play, and you go from a little backed up to threatening. It's 1st and 10 from the 40. They're bringing heat. He'll try to do it himself. A really nice run and gain, and he gets down to avoid taking punishment.
Hey, listen, it's important at that position to be able to be good off schedule. Everything's easy when it's on time. You can get the ball out, but when things break down and they get off schedule, you've got to have a guy back there that can make the right decisions. He did exactly that.
Using the quick game. Put it right on him. Sweet play. Good pickup, and they'll move the chains with the first down.
And that's why, if you're the offensive coordinator, you've got to find as many ways as possible to get this guy going. Just get him the ball close to the line of scrimmage. Doesn't need to be a throw deep down.
And they get to the quarterback and knock him down back into 16. There's a timeout called as this offense tries to find a way to draw a little closer. On 2nd down, wants to throw it. And it's picked off at the goal line. Got some room to run. He's at the 40. At the 20. And it's going to be a pick 6. Touchdown, Bulls. The offense calls a timeout to stop the clock.
And they come up with a huge pick six, and that is one of the reasons this defense has been so dominant all season long. They don't give up big plays, but they take the football away. And once they do, they've got better athletes than you do. They're hard to bring down. They can flip the game on a dime.
On the run from inside his own 5. And the returner could find no... down. Tulane has it back in the offense, coming out to go on the attack. So late in the half, this is really an opportunity, David, maybe to swing the momentum in their favor.
Dang right. There's no time to be conservative. We're a little bit down. Listen, I just think this is a point with the offense that they can prove. Like, we're here, we're going to create something now that we can build on in the second half.
Coach said all week he wanted to be aggressive. This is a great opportunity to show that right now. At the end of the first half, try and generate some momentum, score some points before going into halftime.
The defense wouldn't let him loose there, and it was a completion, but they lost yardage. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. They'll line up for a second down play. He's looking to throw. Pressure coming. Not much of a chance there. He just had to get rid of it to avoid the sack. Running out of time here in the first half. They're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. Still on his feet at the 45. And he's not going to make it. The defense denying him the first down. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. Kicks it high, and it's just hanging there as if it has helium in it and floating down toward the earth. One more snap coming before halftime. Quarterback will audible. Someone not clear on the snap count. It'll be a false start, and they'll move it back.
False start. Offense.
The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. Line gets set. First down. Brown will throw it. He's going for a big play downfield. He holds it in, and nobody's close. He's off to the races. And he'll take it in. They couldn't get him on the ground. Touchdown, USF.
And I love this offense, man. Staying aggressive. Just because you got the lead, you know people can score points in bunches. This offense keeps the foot on the accelerator, scores again on the final play. Now this offense has even more of a cushion going into halftime.
First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update. Just about set for the second half kickoff. Oh, look at Mr. Hands taking the squibber inside the 30. And they'll get him on the ground as the offense comes out to start the next drive. This drive will get underway from just inside the 35 at their own 34. They'll keep it on the ground to start the second half. The line of scrimmage, that'll be a loss of 3. Not what they had in mind to start this drive. Here comes 2nd and 13. He's looking to throw. And he really needed to hold on to that one, but it was not loose, and 3rd down is coming.
The big tight end tries to make a catch, and you could tell he extends for the ball, but great job by the defender getting in there, making the hit, dislodging the football out at the same time as he's going to catch it, and the big tight end couldn't hold on to it.
Grabbed behind the line. It's Preston. And he's not going to get there. The defense stands tall and makes the stop. Tulane forced to send out the punt unit. He'll get it to about the 25 before they put a stop to the return. South Florida has it back, and the Bulls offense will return to the field. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Brown wants to pass. Makes the catch on the left. Nothing but green ahead. Touchdown Bulls! And the beatdown has ensued.
Really nice job working the route and getting himself open. He was able to locate the football, snag it out of the air, and this guy now has 5 receiving touchdowns on the year.
And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Boys, if it's happening in college football, we've got eyes on it. Check this out. North Texas has some work to do. There's no other way to put it. But the mantra of this program is hard hats, hard work. And if they can chip away here, they may be able to pull this out. It's just a field goal game. They're trailing by 3 to Temple. Your boy KC has you covered here in studio, guys, in case anything changes in this one.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. On the move from inside his 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. The Tulane offense headed back onto the field. The last time we saw this offense, we had to look quick. It was a 3-and-out, Jesse.
They just had no rhythm in that last drive. So someone's going to have to step up and make a play, David, and get this thing going.
Yeah, let's find some juice. Find your guy. Find those plays that you know you can run inside out, forward, backwards. Get some first downs. Get some positive momentum.
Get some work done there. Pick up a 4 to the 22.
And it's just simple. Simple first down run, showing your physicality, setting your offense up in a good spot.
Dialing up a second down pass play. He's got an open man. Turns it on down the left side. He's at the 10. And he got away from the... it in. Touchdown, Green Wave.
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge. And also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. And listen, a lot of times touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
Stopped at the 17, and he's probably second-guessing that return. South Florida ready to send the offense back onto the field. They'll get this drive going from the 17. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
And finally, the defense is able to get some pressure on this quarterback. They had been trying all game long different ways to affect him, weren't able to get there. But on that play, because of the pressure, it affected his accuracy. That's why the ball falls incomplete.
They'll knock. Pickup of 1 to the 18.
And these RPOs always put the defense in a bind. But listen, you give up the run, they get a short little gain, no harm, no foul.
He's got it again. And he's a real nowhere man tackled in this no-gain land. The Bulls will bring the punt team onto the field. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. He'll call for the fair catch here. Tulane has it back in the offense, coming out to go on the attack. There's certainly still a hill to climb, but they've got to make sure these drives pay off. They got a touchdown last time. Can they back it up here?
Well, and it's amazing in a football game how sometimes they'll surprise you with what you do. Once you get settled and you realize what's going on, now I'm comfortable with it. Jesse, this offense looked comfortable on its last drive.
They sure did. It looked like they started to find some momentum. So now it's on this defense to stop that.
And that ball is picked off. Didn't really get a chance to get started on that return, but he has set him up at the 41-yard line. Quarterback and running back set up in the pistol. They'll run the option. He'll toss it. You'll take 4 yards on first down every time, 2nd and 6.
When you're a defense, it is stop the run first. That is your first responsibility. It makes the whole game easy. And right now, they got it going on the ground. The defense is going to have to change something up. These little tiny dink and dunk, dink and dunk. You keep doing this, they'll go all the way down the field on you. So you might want to get a little bit more aggressive.
3rd and short now. They snap it from their own 46. Wide receiver coming across in motion. Calls his own number. They make the stop, but this running game moves the chains as they get the first down.
You know, you talk so much about QBs, right? Having to make really good decisions. There's a great example. He didn't see anybody open downfield. He didn't hesitate for 1 second. He put his head down, and he took off and went running and generated an explosive play for the offense.
The carry goes to a wide receiver. He's brought down at the 32-yard line.
And on 2nd down for this offense. And the defense finally makes the stop after the sweet run and good gain.
And that is just an attitude run, running it right up the middle, right into the teeth of that defense.
And the Bulls are moving quickly down the field. They'll give it to Johnson. They make the stop, but you can't give up 4 yards a chunk on the ground down in this area of the field. It's at the 18. After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. Out of the gun, they give to the back. He's all the way down to the 3. Showed it all on that run.
There's really no secret to it, David. When this guy's running well, this offense is so hard to stop.
It opens up everything, and he's having a great day.
Touchdown, South Florida! And the pummeling has started.
You know, this guy's had a big role in this offense this year, especially when they get down close to the end zone. That's his 5th rushing touchdown on the year. He's been a factor for these guys offensively.
And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. So that's a 60-yard touchdown drive. And close the deal with a 3-yard touchdown run. Oh, look at Mr. Hands taking the squibber inside the 30. He's finally dragged down, but what a return as he takes it out to the 46. The Tulane offense headed back onto the field. One of the most valuable things a quarterback can have, David, short-term memory. Just forget that last pick.
You're dang right. Clear the mechanism. It's over, move it behind you. Some players can't do that real well, and it leads to more mistakes, Jesse. You got to just forget about it and move on.
And I think the coaching staff can help him too, David. I think you can get the running game going here and also give him some easy throws.
2nd and 10 after the previous play. He's looking to throw. Finds his tight end. Tackle is made at the 44, but he picked up 10 yards and enough for a first down. And now a fresh set of downs for this offense. Looking to go up top on first down. And the defense gets to the quarterback.
Man, this poor quarterback, he's got no time. You got to protect your quarterback. You got to find different ways to do it. Sometimes it's not working with 4 wide receivers. Maybe you bring in a couple tight ends, go max protection, more guys blocking, less guys in routes, but you got to find something to have success.
And he's dragged down.
I think the OC would have been really happy with a small gain and an easier 3rd down. But how about the effort by the running back to get this close? He saw the first down marker, tried to get to it, got close enough now where it's an easy situation on 3rd down. And shoot, and I got 4th down in my pocket if I want to go for it.
And it is a chunk play, a huge gain on that one before the defense brings it to an end. They're threatening to score, and they'll throw it. It's complete on the right side. He's down at the 1, and they almost had the touchdown pass on that one. And Jesse, he just keeps piling up numbers, over 350 yards for the game.
And I feel like from the get-go, Reese, this guy's just been in a great rhythm all game long. He just seems like he's dialed in, and man, he's been accurate throwing the rock.
And listen, it's tough. It's a tough proposition. This is a top 10 defense against the run. You know they're physical. You know who they are. But you're not going to bat an eye. And you're going to challenge your guys, especially in the red zone, to...
Touchdown, Tulane! Take it in for 6 more points. He'll try to tack on 1 more. And it's perfect. They took it 64 yards right down the field. And the score comes on a 5-yard touchdown pass. The kickoff team out there and ready to go. Not going to risk a return here. He'll make the fair catch. They'll be able to get off 1 more play before quarter's end. Fighting off the defender. And after a very short pickup on that run, we have come to the end of the 3rd quarter. We've come to the end of the quarter, and USF is on top. And as we switch ends of the field, let's take a quick look at the national rankings. Second down here as they go back to work after the break. The back goes in motion. They make the stop, but there is a flag on the field. We'll see what that's all about.
Holding. Offense.
Just an obvious holding call there, and one that just kills an offense's momentum. Now on 2nd down. Motion from the offense. They'll try the right side. Crosses the 30, he's got away. Running toward the tape. Tackled, but he has a first down.
And right there you see the key to this football team's success. Not just offensively, they rip off explosive plays. That's why they've been winning games here as of late. They can get chunks.
A shot toward the end zone. He was up. And he dropped it. Would have been a touchdown. down. Instead, it's second down.
I'm a little bit surprised they're still throwing the football here this late in the game with this kind of lead. They're on first down, taking a shot, falls incomplete, but obviously they're still seeing matchups that they want to take advantage of in the back end of this defense, so they're letting it fly.
Fires to the big fella.
Well, you hear all the time that the tight end's the QB's best friend. You saw a perfect example of it on that last play, right? Second down, you need to pick up some positive yards to keep this third down manageable. Really nice job of executing that.
Touch pass on the jet sweep. Just outside the red zone as they pick up the first down. They'll spot it at the 22.
Just went with something very easy, very reliable. Flip it forward, let your receiver do the rest. I only got to get a few yards. Nice job, nice execution. First down.
And he'll step across the sidelines after making a good gain on that one.
Man, the defense, you hold your breath. When this receiver has the football out in space, you have got to make sure you're playing with outstanding pursuit. Nice job there, but as this game goes on, they've got to keep an eye on this guy and make sure they know where he is at all times.
And he's knocked down, but not before moving the chains.
When you run those drag routes, it just takes a little bit of know-how. And when I say that, the receivers got to understand, find space. My quarterback's going to find me. He's looking for that space at the same time. Nice throw, nice catch. Way to get the first down.
Movement on the offensive line. That's going to be a false start, and they'll walk it back.
False start. Offense.
So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. After the 5-yard step-off, 1st and 15 for this offense. The aerial assault continues. Makes the grab. It's Smith. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few. The Bulls moving quickly to the line. He's back to throw on second down. And the rush will get to him at the 25.
College football becomes more and more every year, more nickel, more dime packages, more speed on the field. So no matter what you do, I got a guy that can go chase down your quarterback in any situation, and you can see it right there. DB came flying in there, gets the first sack of the game.
False start. Offense.
The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. 9th play of the drive coming up, but this one will be tough. 3rd and long. A little pre-snap eye candy for the defense. On 3rd and long, he'll need to loosen up that arm. And he got a hand on it to knock it down in the end zone.
And the offense got themselves in a tough situation. 3rd and long, so hard to execute, especially when the field starts to shrink. But the good news is they got a field goal in their back pocket.
No good. Because no game is perfect. Something has to go wrong, so the coach will have something to gripe about in film. The offense lining up for a first down play.
27.
He wants to throw. Fires on the move. It's complete. Tackle is made after the first down. Big play out of the gate to start this drive, and here they come again. Wants to throw on first down. Makes the catch. It's McClure. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain. And now on second down for this offense. He's looking to throw. Finds the tight end. They'll wrestle him down just short of the first down. I don't even think they're going to bring out the chains to measure this one.
Well, nice completion there, finding the tight end. And what's so beautiful about that is while they didn't get the first, they were able to pick up enough yards now to make the 3rd down manageable. Really putting this offense in a good...
Gets away from one, finds room. There he goes down the right side. Waltzes into the end zone, but he might be dancing the other way. There's a flag on the field. Defense was a little anxious there, got caught offside, so the penalty will be declined and give him the touchdown. And he knocks the extra point through the uprights. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Terrific showdown this week, guys. Let's take a look at what's going on. Miami has the lead right now, but this Canes crowd is restless. They just haven't been able to separate themselves yet there in the 305. They're up by 10 over Stanford. We'll circle back if anything big happens in this college football matchup.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. They'll run it. They want to take their time here. And he'll get it up to the 38. It'll be a first down.
Fresh legs, man, and it is showing. Of course, this team had the bye last week, and you're seeing it right now late in the game. Running the football and
going over the top. And it's knocked away downfield. The DB getting a hand in there. You have a big lead in the fourth quarter. When you do that, the only explanation for it is you're trying to send a message by sticking in another touchdown.
Yeah, and saying, listen, it's your job to stop us, and right now we're eating you alive. So I think, you know, there's some psychological warfare, right? There's some, I'm going to get in your head. There's some, I want to beat you in the recruiting trail and in the future, and, you know, kind of take that and a little rub their nose in it.
Brown will throw it. He uncorks one deep. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have held on. And the Bulls will call on their punt team. Well, what that punt lacked in height, it made up for by being short. Tulane has it back in the offense, coming out to go on the attack. It has been a rather forgettable day that's finally coming to a close, David.
Yeah, it's been an awful day. I mean, just not functioning well on offense, defense giving up a lot of points. This is a day, Palmer, they'll like to forget.
yeah, you're going to find out a lot about their character right now. Obviously, not what they hoped this would be, and that's demoralizing for a lot of these kids that have worked really hard in practice all week. But at this point here, you're just trying to prove to your coaching staff that you're not going to quit.
He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down. From the gun, he'll try to throw for it on third down. Receiver looks it in. It's complete. And boy, is he close to that first down. Maybe just a couple of inches short. Down by multiple possessions. You can't come up empty on this drive. They'll go for it on fourth down. Complete out of the backfield. And that defensive penetration gave him no chance, and he is ridden out of bounds. A bold decision to go for it on fourth down, and one that did not pay off. And wait just a second. The official's going to take a second look at this one. And they take another look at the play, but the officials on the field were right, and the play will stand. Little touch pass to the receiver. Solid fundamentals on that tackle from this freshman. Went to the running game on first down. Now here they come again. On second down, looking to throw. Fires toward the end zone. And give him another. Plenty of fireworks in this one. A lot of points. They always